Sean Combs charged in Manhattan federal court with sex trafficking and other federal offenses. Alleged conduct occurred over more than a decade in multiple states. Damien Williams, the United States Attorney for the Southern District of New York, and William S. Walker, the Acting Special Agent in charge of the New York Field Office of Homeland Security Investigations, also known as HSI, announced that Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka P. Diddy, aka P.D., aka Love, was arrested last night and charged in a 3-count indictment with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. The indictment, unsealed Tuesday, September 17th, 2024, alleges that between 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced women and others and led a racketeering conspiracy that engaged in sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice, among other crimes. Combs is expected to be present in Manhattan federal court this afternoon before Magistrate Judge Robyn F. Tarnofsky. U.S. Attorney Damien Williams said, as alleged in the indictment, for years, Sean Combs used the business empire he controlled to sexually abuse and exploit women, as well as to commit other acts of violence and obstruction of justice. Today, he is charged with racketeering and sex trafficking offenses. If you have been a victim of Combs' alleged abuse, or if you know anything about his alleged crimes, we urge you to come forward. This investigation is far from over. Big words right there. Real quick, something funny. I seen one of the homies made a post, said, yeah, I need to get on that lawsuit. I bought some Sean Combs jeans a couple years ago and still got a rash or still got an itch from it or something. I thought that was real comical. Moving on. HSI Acting Special Agent in charge William S. Walker said, today we shatter any false notion of impunity as we uncover the defendant's alleged pattern of manipulation, exploitation, and outright abuse. Make no mistake, we are here today only because of the unwavering strength of victims and witnesses who have already endured unspeakable hardships. I commend them for their courage and urge anyone who believes they are a victim of sex trafficking to contact HSI by email at sextrafficking_outreach@hsi.dhs.gov or via our mobile tip line 1-877-4-HSITIP. And I do encourage anybody that know anyone going through any, sex trafficking or any, anything like that matter, definitely, get some help, call some numbers, reach out. That's a unfortunate situation that is in the world today. According to the indictment, from at least 2008 through the present, Combs led a criminal enterprise that existed to facilitate his abuse and exploitation of women to protect his reputation and to conceal his conduct. As a part of that criminal enterprise, Combs, along with other members and associates of the enterprise, committed crimes including sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. Among other things, Combs' sexually abuse of women included causing them to engage in frequent day-long sexual activity with male commercial sex workers, some of whom were transported over state lines. These events, which Combs referred to as freak-offs, were elaborate sex performances that Combs arranged, directed, and often electronically recorded. To ensure participation in freak-offs, Combs used violence and intimidation and leveraged his power over victims. Power he obtained through obtaining and distributing narcotics to them, exploiting his financial support to them, and threatening to cut off the same and controlling their careers. Combs also threatened his victims, including by threatening to expose the embarrassing and sensitive recordings he made of at his freak-offs if the women did not comply with his demands. Combs' efforts to control women include repeated physical abuse. Combs assaulted women by, among other things, striking, punching, dragging, throwing objects at, and kicking them. Combs similarly assaulted witnesses to his abuse. These assaults often resulted in injuries to the victims which took days or weeks to heal. To commit these crimes, Combs relied on his power. As the leader of a multifaceted business empire, employees of Combs' business, including high-ranking supervisors, security staff, personal assistants, and household staff, acted as Combs' intermediaries. Among other things, arranged travel at hotel rooms, stocked the hotel rooms for Combs, commercial sex activity, contact or locate women and other individuals whom he targeted for abuse and conceal and cover up the abuse. The criminal concealment included efforts to prevent law enforcement from learning about his abuse. If you believe you are a victim of a crime perpetrated by Sean Combs, please contact HSI at sextrafficking_outreach at hsi.dhs.gov or via their mobile tip line at 1-8774-HSI-TIP and reference this case. Combs, 54, of Miami, Florida, is charged with 1 count of racketeering conspiracy, which carries a maximum sentence of life in prison, 1 count of sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, which carries a maximum sentence of life in prison and a mandatory minimum sentence of 15 years in prison, and 1 count of transportation for purpose of prostitution, which carries a maximum sentence of 10 years in prison. The statutory maximum and mandatory penalties are prescribed by Congress and are provided here for informational purposes only, as any sentencing of the defendant will be determined by the judge. Mr. Williams praised the outstanding investigative work of HSI and Southern District of New York Special Agents, Digital Forensic Unit, and the complex analytical and social media enhancement team at the New York, New Jersey high-intensity drug trafficking area. This case is being handled by Office's Civil Rights Unit in the Criminal Division. Assistant U.S. Attorney Meredith Foster, Emily A. Johnson, Christy Slavic, Madison Reddick, Smizer, and Mitzi Steiner. The charges contained in the indictment are merely accusations. The defendant is presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty. Crazy. That's the article that I usually read from the justice.gov website. When I'm doing my gang stories, that's the article that popped up. There's a couple other little news articles I've been reading. Kanye West, he popped out the closet to say some stuff about P.Diddy, 50 Cent, of course. But I have found out that Kanye West had an interview from October 2022, so a few years ago, talking about how, discussing some deals and certain celebrities have made to avoid prison time and how, certain deals are struck with law enforcement to, keep other people out of jail by blackmailing them and stuff. And to me, that seemed real familiar to what? Epstein and all that BS. And I'm just glad a lot of this stuff is coming out. I've been known that these celebrities and these politicians are weirdos. You could go on my social media, specifically on my Facebook, and I was talking about this 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. P. Diddy's ex, Kim Porter, mysteriously died of pneumonia right after she had come out and said she was going to come out with a tell-all book about being married to Sean Combs and having children with him. And in her memoir, it talks about how, just the weird stuff that he did. She knew about it, and she had walked in on some of his stuff, and he had come out and said that he's a lot, it's a lot worse than people think. Recently, I seen some stuff. Actually, not even recently. This was a little while ago. I just recently seen it again. Stuff come out about Justin Bieber, P. Diddy. They got some clips out there on the internet, some weird stuff about them two talking. And I feel bad for Justin Bieber. I don't know if y'all know his background, but, he got started at a young age. He's a child star. So, all them child stars, they're victims in all this. They're victims in all this for real. But recently, Sean Diddy Combs' latest rapper put on suicide watch as he awaits trial behind bars. The rapper appeared in court Wednesday to propose a $50 million bail package to avoid the notorious Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, but he was denied by the judge. Diddy's lawyers argued he was not a flight risk or dangerous, but they failed to convince the judge. The prosecution shared alleged text messages from Diddy to his ex, Casey Ventura. Everyone knows about Casey. If not, go look that up. So yeah, he's placed on suicide watch again, like Epstein. So we have to watch him. Hopefully he doesn't, quote unquote, get suicided. But go ahead, hit that like button. Put your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. Let me know what you think. What's on your mind? What you think about this P. Diddy? Do you think he's guilty? Do you think he's not guilty? Do you think there's going to be more of these human trafficking and sex trafficking probes going on inside the media? Or do you think it's going to get swept underneath the rug? I did notice this came out shortly after the second assassination on Trump. I may or may not make a video about that. I think that's kind of, convenient. But nonetheless, human trafficking is a big thing. It's much bigger than people think. And I do like shining lights on this. So please share the video. Make your loved ones aware. Make sure all these children know they got hope, they got numbers, they got people they could turn to in a time of need. And they're not alone. I love all my subscribers. I appreciate all the viewers. Hit the like button. I'll catch you on the next one. Much love, peace, blessings, and much gratitude.